I recently made a YouTube video about how to create the ultimate graphic design portfolio. It's been pretty popular, so I thought I'd follow up with a copywriter version. Let's dive right in. So if you're just starting out, or if you are a seasoned pro and already a copywriter, you know by now you've got to have a portfolio. It's your brand, it's your shop window, it's a way to win clients. It's pretty much a must-have. So today I'm going to share what makes a winning portfolio, the biggest mistakes to avoid, and how to position yourself for high-paid jobs and high-paid freelance contracts in this really tough market. When I first started recruiting copywriters, the portfolios were either non-existent or pretty poor. Maybe it'd be a Word document, maybe it'd be some sort of printed out material. Either way, copywriters didn't really showcase their work as well as I'd have expected at the time. It'd be quite normal for a copywriter just to pull out magazines or brochures or some sort of booklet or some sort of mini printed portfolio and showcase examples of their work that maybe looked dated, didn't necessarily look well presented. It wouldn't really present them in the best light. Fast forward a little bit and the portfolios became much more sophisticated. Copywriters, whether rightly or wrongly, were almost judged to have a portfolio on equal par as a graphic design portfolio. The work needed to be showcased prominently, needed to look slick. The work needed to be in situ, be current and contemporary. Copywriters needed to showcase their adaptability, their ability to sell, but most importantly, they needed to showcase their tone of voice. With the rise of the digital space and social media, content was everything. Websites, ads, banners, emails, product descriptions, you name it, everything was heightened, everything was in demand, and there was an insatiable thirst for content. Unfortunately, product writing and mass-produced copy didn't necessarily have the best impact on the market. We had a little bit of a race to the bottom. Thankfully, the rise of branding, social media, and storytelling has flipped the script. Now, copywriting is a buoyant, well-paid, thriving creative sector. So where do you start? Competing for top jobs, you're competing for lucrative bookings. You've got to start with the platform, not the niche. Pretty standard. You're either going to have a website or you're going to have a blog. If you haven't got access to either one of those, a really good starting point and free is going to be Behance. You can very quickly, very easily upload at least 5 samples of work onto that platform and pretty much anyone will have access. Failing there, you can always use a PDF portfolio, but in my opinion, you're always better off with an actual website or a blog or even the Behance platform. It's richer, it's deeper, it's more interactive and more engaging. Platforms like this are easy to use, they're low maintenance, quick to update, they can be branded. Your page should feel like a branded experience. Platforms like Wix and Squarespace are good long-term options. You can update and amend and create your own website showcasing all of your copy samples very quickly. And yes, social media is an extension of your portfolio now as well. LinkedIn, Instagram, a great way to showcase examples of your work and get it out. If your copy and content isn't available online, you may be missing out on opportunities. Once you've got your platform established, you then need to figure out what's your niche. Which markets or sectors or industries are you going to target? The UK job market loves specialisms. It loves niches. The jack of all trades, master of none approach will not serve you well. Figure out, what do you love? What do you like writing about? What gets you excited? Is it fashion, beauty, wellness, lifestyle? So whatever sector you focus on or whatever your niche is going to be, remember your portfolio isn't just a scrapbook. It's a tool you can use to pitch yourself with. And a great tip is to have more than one sector or niche that you can showcase in separate sections on your portfolio or as different PDFs that you can really target clients with. Now, the crucial part is actually selecting the work and picking out which pieces you want to showcase. I've made previous videos about how to actually start the curation process and how to really pin down and pick 3 pieces of work, which you can then expand to 5 and beyond. Go check them out when you get the chance. For the selection process, less is always more. And you definitely want to keep people on your website. Make sure the viewer is not directed to links that will take them to other websites. Now, this might be an idea about showcasing your work, but it is a massive mistake. Whatever you do, Keep that viewer on your portfolio, keep them reading, keep them engaged, and keep them wanting more. So the golden rule is start with your 3 strongest pieces, lead with that first one, follow up with a second killer piece, and finish with a really strong piece. You can fill the gaps in between those with additional work samples that are more functional, that maybe showcase range in what you do. A few key points that I've noticed other videos have missed out is the commercial factor, and including pieces of work that are incredibly functional, that are going to leverage you and indicate that you are a viable talent and someone that a client is going to be seeking out and wanting to hire and wanting to shortlist for final consideration. The must-have pieces need to be current and what's going on at the moment. Think about how you are interacting with brands, thinking about transactions that you've made online. You've got to showcase work samples that mirror this or tie into this. Big campaigns are great, but if you're not showcasing any work that is social media based, you are missing out. The most successful copywriters I've worked with are borderline influencers. They may have a YouTube channel, they may have an Instagram page, they may have a few hundred, maybe even a few thousand followers, and they interact and engage with them. They do write, they produce copy and content, but that experience may be a bit more interactive, it may be a bit more deeper, it may be a two-way conversation. Contemporary versatility is key. But I have noticed in people's portfolios, they can actually be overwhelmed by big brands. Their own tone of voice, their own personality and individual way of writing can be smothered up by these huge, big, well-known, recognizable brands. So in your portfolio, you've got to showcase your own personal tone of voice, your own way of writing. It could be about anything that relates to you. It could be your lifestyle, where you live, your flatmates, or moving house. It could be about incredible experiences that you've had while on holiday. It might be awesome fine dining. Readers love storytelling, short form, mid form. You know, these are great ways to entice a reader and get someone on the other end of your portfolio wanting more. Some awesome portfolios that I've seen showcase food reviews, write-ups about interesting holidays, experiences that that person might have been on. Working on big campaigns is awesome, but don't be smothered by the big brands. Make sure your own tone of voice can be heard. Develop and showcase your personality and way of writing. Brands want versatile copywriters who can sell without trying to sell. Once your work is organized and you've showcased commercial work, campaign material, email newsletters, craft a bit of compelling information or compelling descriptions about some of the projects or some of the topics that you've worked on. Clear headings, brief descriptions, outcomes and wins, couple of lines about each project or each case study that you are putting on display. Finally, incorporate your personal branding. Remember, this is a professional tool, but at the same time, you want it to be interactive, you want it to be engaging, you want it to be personable as well. Logos, consistent color palettes, readable typography, and a clear definition of what kind of copywriter you are. Are you a brand copywriter? Do you work in-house? Are you editorial? Are you an ad agency copywriter? Are you part of a creative team and you work with an art director? Clearly define yourself and what you are. Remember, the industry loves a specialism. It loves someone that focuses on one particular role. Once you're in, then you can showcase all your other skills and ability. Remember, your portfolio isn't just a place where you highlight pieces of work just because you wanted to. It's your proof of expertise. It is your recruiter magnet. It's a way to showcase that you are current, contemporary, and commercially viable. So if you want to land the best jobs and be the kind of candidate that companies and recruiters are always going to shortlist, you've got to make sure your portfolio is slick, well designed, and on par with a graphic designer's portfolio. It's got to showcase real tone of voice. It's got to showcase your personality and your way of writing, and where possible, tie that into commercial brands, big projects, and recognizable companies. You can start this today. It's easier than ever before. You can use social media, you can use AI web design platforms, build your presence online and never be overlooked again. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you have, hit the like button, consider subscribing, and let us know in the comments, what tips do you have? What's been working for you with your portfolio? Let's add them in the comments and let's help each other out.